Well, Gary, you know, I've lived here all my life, and I know you have too, but, you know, a lot of people want to know a little something about the guide. Gary, how long have you been down here fishing this area?
Well, Mark, I've been fishing down here my whole life. I've been professionally guiding since 1975. This area down here is, as far as I'm concerned, I've fished all over Florida and Louisiana and North Carolina, South Carolina, and you know, as far as fishing, this is some of my favorite right here. You know, this area right here. I mean, we're blessed here in the Golden Isles to have such a diverse fishery. You know, I mean, we've got, just think this time of year right now, we're in here catching redfish, and just a little while we're gonna slip inside and do a little trout fishing. And we're not too long from our triple tail showing up. You know, come March, then when the triple tails show up, then the beaches get loaded up with trout again. And then when that happens, then the next thing you know, it's tarpon time.
Oh
Yeah, tarpon. I'm talking about some killer tarpon too. And we have that all summer, all the way up to about the first cold front in October. And then when that happens, of course, all that time of year, you know, we got the trout.
yeah.
Trout, redfish, triple tail. And then all of a sudden, October hits, we got those big bull reds. You know, the ones that run anywhere from 15 up to about 25, 30, maybe 40 pounds. And phenomenal. Whoop, I just missed one. How about that?
Well, you know, Gary, it's what we've been trying to tell people all the time. You know, if you live in Georgia, don't overlook what you got here in your own backyard. And, you know, Gary will attest to you as well as I will. You know, consider fishing in Georgia. Whether you fish with Golden Isles Charter Fishing Association, Gary, Altman, or myself, if you got your own boat, consider coming down here. I really just want to show everybody just what I've done. If you can see right here at the top, this is a slip sinker. It slides up and down the line. Then I got a small bead right there protecting the knot right here at the swivel, as you can see. And I put me about a 12-inch leader on there and a hook. And what this does is it allows that minnow to swim around a little bit. And of course, this is what I was trying to catch on, was one of these redfish or a trout, because I know a lot of times if there's trout in the area, if you can get your bait to move around a little bit on its own, you'll get more bites. You know, a lot of people think that the way they fish back home won't work down here in the salt water. And hey, that's far from the truth. I mean, look guys, this is just a glorified catfish rig. The only difference is we're fishing it in salt water. And here's the key, real lightweight. This way it won't dig into the bottom too bad, and you can actually move along the shell pretty good. Gary's got a pretty good bite on the popping cork right now, but I'm gonna see if I can't catch another one on this 8-pound line that I'm fishing today. This is pretty good stuff. And right there's another shot of that mud minnow, and you can actually tell that the mud minnow has gotten bit, because you can see how it's been scaled many times. If you think you had a bite, look at your bait when you get it back in, and it'll tell you if you've had a bite on or not, because you'll see the portion that the fish had a hold of it and knocked the scales off. Like I said, if it gets weak, change him out. Oh, I just saw some fish roll up right there.
Oh,
there
no, don't tell me that.
I did. I saw him roll up right in between us.
Don't tell me that. Oh, well.
He tried mine and missed it.
I'm in trouble, Mark.
No, man, you're not in trouble. That's the good kind of trouble right there, Gary.
I'm telling you. Yep.
That's the good kind of trouble there. I saw them fish roll up in there on them. Oh. You know, Gary, a day like today, if you had somebody that was pretty good at the fly rod, I think they could have a pretty good time in here right now.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
There's no doubt.
Right in here right now, I guarantee you, they could wear them out with a fly rod. Nice 15 now, maybe 16-inch fish. Ease him back up.
Well, Gary, I got shortchanged on that. You came out ahead and I came out a little behind. You put a sniff on it. Now, come on, baby, it's okay. It's okay. There it is. Right there. Right there. Now, I can tell you what
That's
now,
trout,
Gary,
baby.
little old trout. I thought he was acting kind of funny when he hit that thing, and a little old bitty trout up here in this flat. Now that is a small trout. But you know what? I knew when he bit that was something different. He sunk it on down. I dropped down to probably about 13 feet, I guess, 14 feet deep. We'll see what it is. Maybe it's just a little old trout, but you know what? If it's a trout at all, at least we're going the right way.
That's right.
Look how fat that trout is, Gary. He might be a little old butterball, but he is just fat as a tick. Well, that goes to show you at least there's some fish in here. I mean, all them little speckles on the side of that fish. A little bitty guy, but hey, it's a trout.
I want to be a little bit closer, Mark.
A little bit closer to the dock. We're going to blow straight there, Gary. See how he's blowed way in there?
Yeah. You're probably right. Know those fish here. I know they're there. Water's coming pretty too. Giving me the old heebie-jeebies, huh?
Do what, Gary?
Just
Is there a lot of hangs right there on the bottom, Gary?
no, not real bad. Other than that barbed wire that guy stowed out.
Other than that, it's not too bad.
I don't think it's Constantine wire. That razor wire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looky there, looky there, looky there, looky there. Looky there. Looky there,
Dragging
Gary.
the bottom.
I think I just pulled him off. But I had a fish on there.
Yeah. Yeah, he looked like he had him in his mouth.
He came in there and crushed it, Gary. Well, Gary said boomy to boom. Did we get okay, Gary?
We owned. If it was any better, I couldn't stand it.
If it could be any better, you wouldn't be able to stand
I
it.
couldn't stand it.
Oh, that's got my hook in it, Gary.
Oh, okay. I thought that shrimp was laying right on the
Take
bottom.
it up here.
Oh, pretty quick.
Yeah, but I think we're starting to
Get
come
him.
out. I don't know if that's a fish or a hang. What is it? It's an old snaggle too. I'm hung in the fish's jaw, Gary.
Oh.
Well, you said we'd go out there and get us on some red drum. We can come here and catch some trout.
Oh, yeah.
And here it is. And take a look and see just what we got. It's definitely a trout, Gary.
Well, he's a little bigger.
Yeah, there you go. Old speckled trout. There we go. That fish is just as cold as ice right there. But there you have it. That's a speckled trout. And what we did here is we had a little bit of a gear change. And I'll show you what we done. You know, at first, you know, Gary had us out there fishing starting out in about 2 foot of water, got down to around, I don't know, 15 or 16 inches in catching fish. But now what we've done is we've actually just switched the whole scenario. We moved in here to a river, and now we're fishing probably about 7 or 8 foot deep, and so now we're going to fish a little different style. We're fishing bait casting reels right now, and what we've went to is a slip cork rig. And what I mean by that is in here when the tide gets coming in, you'll want to fish relatively close to the bottom for these trout, but you want a nice drifting bait. And I guess you can almost say it's sort of like maybe fishing for white perch or crappie up on the river, but we got a tide here. And so what we done here is we got a leader, which is 20-pound fluorocarbon, tied to, in this case, a 1/2 ounce sinker with a float. Now this cork, it'll float up and down the line, and if you can look right up here, I'm gonna drop it down there to it, there is the bobber stop. And now you can see the bobber stopped on the line right there because I have a slip knot with a small bead. And what this will let me do is it'll let me determine how deep I want to fish this cork in any given spot. Because sometimes it may be 4 foot against the bank, but it might be 8 or 10 or even 12 feet further off. And I can find that out by slipping this knot up or down and letting my cork find the bottom. If my cork's laying on its side, I know I'm fishing too deep. I want my cork to fish upright. And as it drifts down the bank, you can keep your bait in a strike zone for quite a long ways if you'll fish it just right. But remember, the whole secret to fishing these slip corks is this knot. Many times I've seen people fishing a slip cork around me and they never adjust their knot for their depth and they wonder why they don't catch no fish. Well, adjust your knot frequently as the tide comes in or comes out, and you'll find that the depth's going to change all the time. So stay on that knot, find what depth you're catching your fish in, and as long as you're catching fish, don't change your knot. But as soon as you stop catching fish, maybe you want to check a different depth, and you'll find that the fish will bite just fine once again. But remember, slip fishing around these docks like this right here in the wintertime, hey, a great technique. Remember, long natural drift, small hook still, because we want that bait still to swim around out there while you're drifting, and you'll catch a lot of fish in the cold winter months. Look at there, right there, Gary. Right about what you was talking about. If I can get him out from around that piling. That's about what you were saying, wasn't it, Gary? Mm-hmm. Right there, right there, right there.
Oh man, I missed mine. Well,
there we have it.
No big toads. But you know they're getting progressively bigger.
Yeah. And there you have another old speckled trout. Gary said it was about right up in there where he's getting them bites at, and I think he was right.
Oh yeah.
Has that got a little meat on his bones?
I think that's a key. He hit it pretty hard though.
That's a little nicer fish now, Gary.
Oh my goodness, come here, baby. Yeah, that's a.
Look at there, Gary. Oh, I just had him right there.
That's more like it. That's
Had
a good
right
16, 17 inch right there.
That one right there is definitely bigger than a bean, Gary.
Oh yeah.
Nice fish.
Around my house, you know what we call them?
Grease stinkers?
No, just right.
Just right?
Just right. Oh, just right.
You know what, Gary? That fish fit right into that cooler.
I'm telling you, it did.
Does that make him a keeper?
I'm telling you.
Gary, I turned around to look at your fish, and I came back around, and my cork was gone, buddy. G-O-N-E.
Well, let me get another one of these little mud minnows here, and we'll see if we can get one interested again.
There he is.
You got him?
Yeah. Old trout.
Well, say huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever found yourself when you get to a spot, you know, you pull up and not catching many fish at one time, you know, and you know the spot at any minute could just turn on and get real hot, and then wish you was somebody, you know, wish you was somewhere else right quick, you know, thinking about another spot, you know.
Yeah.
I find myself, I have to. But you got to have confidence in your spot that you're at.
That looked like that was a fish, Gary.
Got him?
Yeah, he kind of just stopped. It's all that fish done right there, Gary.
Remember I told you how these fish was hitting? Just stalling it out. And
Yep, he just stalled it out. That's all he did. Easy, son. There we go, Gary.
excuse me.
That's a nice fish. But that's all he did is he just stalled it off. Probably about a 14 and a half inch fish. Look at there. Right there, Gary.
I hear you.
Just right behind the boat.
It looked like that right there might keep.
He's bigger than a bean. Well, that right there, Gary, there's not a whole lot of shame in that. Look at there. I mean, hair lifting.
I'm talking
Look
about
at that right there. That's why you want to be gentle with trout, y'all. Look right there at that thin piece of skin.
you hair lifting.
That's what I call hair lifting. I mean, it'll pull out that easy. You know, that's one good reason why you never want to set the hook on a fish. I mean, that's a good size keeper trout. But if I'd have horsed that fish a whole lot, we wouldn't have got him. And actually, I'm lucky I even got him out of the water by lifting him up like that. Many times if you're trout fishing, if you're going to keep you a mess of fish to eat, use a dip net and you'll have a lot better day because you lose very few fish with a dip net, whereas you do what I just done right there. Many times if the fish is, 2 or 3 pounds, a lot of times they'll just bust on off and, well, then you can just say you had him on there for a little bit. We'll put him in the box. There you go, Gary. Well, that makes the fella feel just a little bit better.
I'm telling you, pretty little trout.
Well, he's big enough to stink the grease, isn't he? Look at there, look at there, look at there, Gary. Right there, right. I mean, just right there.
Oh yeah. He's 14.
He's just trying to cut up a little bit on me there, Gary.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not even that big. He was a trout with an attitude's all. He bit it well.
Come on, baby doll.
Right there, Gary. Oh, he came off right
Yeah,
there. I'm going to try to feed it right back there to him and see if he'll
I think he got
catch it off. He could have.
Look here, look here.
Good gosh.
Yeah. Look at here,
Well,
look at here.
I guarantee you one thing, that fish right there, natural born knows he got him a little bit.
Uh-huh. Well, they starting to bite a little bit better. Just need to get longer.
Is he a little bit short on one end too,
Yeah,
Gary?
he's a little bit short on one end. That's all right. I'll come back and get you in about a year and a half.
There he is. Well, he was hungry. He might make 13, but I'm not even going to bother measuring this one. I'll just stick him back in. Well, Gary, we've had a pretty doggone good day of fishing.
I tell you, we really have. I've really enjoyed it today. It's been a beautiful day.
Well,
as far as weather-wise and especially fishing.
well, you know, it's right now. It's January, like we said earlier in the show, and there's plenty of fishing to do. We went out this morning, and our goal was to go out and catch some trout and some red drum, and we was able to do both of them. We already got a real large mess of fish in the boat, and another one on. I just lost him. But anyways, we don't have any more time. The bite's still on.
That's right.
Gary, I'm gonna catch me a few more fish.
Well, me too, Mark. I mean, I ain't got nothing else to do today except fish. You know, I guess it's time to say goodbye and, you know, hey, let's go fishing.
Well, that's right. You can't do this sitting on the couch. I hope you enjoyed today's show, because once again, fishing with Gary Altman right down here out of St. Simon's Island. You know, we're having a ball, and we hope y'all enjoyed today's show, because I know I enjoyed making it. So this is Captain Martin Noble, and this is Captain Gary Altman. Man, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope to see you again next week. Gary, I'm gonna get back out there on one real quick, buddy.
All right. Yeah.
I can't believe I just missed that fish.